Welcome everyone to another episode of Startup Program Masters. I am Yanis from the Founderhood team, and today I am joined by George Krachtopoulos. Hello, George.
Hello, Yanis. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you here as well. George was the latest program manager of the program Startup Universe. You will tell us more about the program later. But first, would you like to tell us a few things about you and how did you end up in this position?
For sure. So, my background comes from technology. Everything started from there. I was very passionate about writing code and developing sort of my own small projects. But during the last year, I saw the other side of things from the investing side and venture capital. So I said I would give it a try to have a full view of what was going on. And I was working as a venture scout for an early stage fund where I introduced startups to the partners and we had a successful deal. And throughout the time, I discovered how viable community building is. I knew that networking and connecting with people was great and could also be proven very helpful in the future. But also working around communities and trying to enhance the local startup ecosystem is something that is still inside of me and I'm passionate about. And during that time, the co-founder of Startup Universe, Thanos Parascos, reached out to me, and he told me that the Startup Universe, the programs would start for the new year, and said I would give it a try, essentially. That was it.
Amazing. Thank you. So, initially you were a venture scout for a venture capital, and then you ended up in Startup Universe as a program manager. What about Startup Universe? Would you like to tell us about the program and how does it work?
For sure. So Startup Universe essentially is a non-profit initiative where we support and connect early stage startups with the global tech community. And we do this by leveraging the diaspora networks. It is a program that has been running for over 3 years now. It started from the Greek ecosystem. In the second year, it expanded to 8 European countries. And this year, me and the team, we expanded to 14 countries globally. And the format of it, in order for the audience to understand better, is that in each country, there is a national program, which is hosted by a national organizer. And each national program is a 4-week online startup program where remarkable entrepreneurs from the local ecosystem come and talk to inspire and motivate first-time founders. At the same time, there are some experts that provide some more in-depth insights for founders to gain more knowledge. There are some perks and discounts for software platforms. And at the same time, startup founders can even have 20 minutes for free with an expert to receive customized support, which I think is great. And after the program ends, startups that excel throughout the program can have the chance to get connected with angel investors.
Amazing. So it's not only one startup program, it's actually a big umbrella, Startup Universe, with a lot of programs in every nation, with one program manager, national program manager on each nation. I am curious of how that works. Is it easy? Is it hard to find program managers in different nations?
Yeah, that's a good question. So when I was onboarded on the team, to be honest, I was lucky enough that the program had also run for 2 years in the past. So there was already some material that I could use to help myself explain to the other stakeholders more simpler and better what all of this is about, which was great. And in Startup Universe, what one of our characteristics is that we're very global, we're open-minded, and that geographical barriers, we essentially want to destroy them. And to be honest, it wasn't the easiest thing, even though I like to interact with other cultures and to meet fascinating people from all around the world, and it's something that I had done also in the past. It was hard, first of all, to learn and get yourself familiar with what the culture of the person that you're speaking to is all about. What's their way of communicating? What's their way of working? It's different to talk with people from the north, if I could say, with people living in the south. They have some different traits. At the same time, this was something fascinating. I was really excited to overcome this challenge. And at the end, it proved that we found people that were passionate about what we're doing and were willing to support us.
Amazing. And you did manage it. So eventually, how many national program managers did you have this year?
But for this year, it was 14.
14. So 14 different programs were running at the same time. This is now I want to ask a few more questions about your role as a program manager of the whole project, let's say. How did you assist the national program managers?
So, as I said, it was very helpful that there was already some material being created, whether that was documents, whether that was guidelines or media material that we could use and alter it and improve it for 2023. And I could help program managers connect with some people, maybe especially people from other countries. Essentially, the most viable thing I could provide to them is make things clear and simple, provide exact steps that they should follow in order to achieve something or not, and in order to make it very understanding as possible. At the same time, because we're a broad community, national organizers, it was helpful to talk with one another. So we hosted meetings all together, share experiences, try to overcome common mistakes common barriers that all the national organizers might have faced, and we had to facilitate this, and of course be as responsive as possible throughout various time zones to in cases that there was a matter of emergency, maybe something that needed to be quickly fixed.
So besides you helping them individually, you also build that small community of program managers, and that helped them as well. Amazing. About their programs, you had the privilege, let's say, to overview a lot of startup programs at once. From this experience, what would you say separated the successful programs from the, let's say, less impactful ones?
That's a good question. So, what I discovered throughout this experience is that it all boils down to the people that you work with, the people that run those startup programs. It has to do with the passion that they have, which correlates to the work that they put into. Um, a great thing is that basically one of the main things is how consistent they were. For example, most of the programs that we had this year were new ones, so they had to build up from the ground, and for example, they need to increase their number of followers, to raise awareness about those things for the first time throughout social media. And in order to achieve this, you had to be consistent in the post that you made, for example. At the same time, to be honest, we saw tremendous success from the programs that we really didn't expect to see that huge success. For example, the Universe Morocco is the first program, the top program basically for 2023, which was led by Lamay El-Basiti. Apart from national organizers, and when I refer to people, it's not only the national organizer themselves, but also the team they might gather around them that can help them achieve everything in this process. And that also applies to our own team, Startup Universe Global. At the end, a startup program, as the success of it, would also be recognized by the startups, not only the quantity, but the quality also plays a significant role, that participate in this program, because the startups will exit the program, will go for other adventures, and hopefully they will use the knowledge gained throughout the program to grow. So how do you attract these remarkable startups? How do you motivate them to participate? And that comes to the value proposition that you provide. And your value proposition depends a lot on the content that you share, basically the content that you produce throughout the 4 weeks. The people, the guests that you invite, and thinking of all these things, you create a plan and you try to follow it as diligently as possible. Of course, there will be pitfalls throughout the way. But from my experience, these are some of the characteristics that an impactful and successful program would have.
Thank you. So you mentioned the people behind the program manager and their team. You mentioned consistency of a program. You mentioned the quality of the startups and, of course, the value that you offer as a startup program. If I would ask you to narrow this down to only one factor, what would you choose?
Oh, that's hard. And it's hard because I would put people, but at the same time, you need a platform or the infrastructure where people can thrive. As an example, Founderhood that we use from day one. So no, I won't answer your question with only one thing, but I would say a combination of the people and the infrastructure, the platform that you use to achieve your vision. Yeah, this is what I would say the best case.
Okay, so it's the people that come together to, let's say, create this whole program, the startups, the different stakeholders, the program manager, and that founder would also help to bring all those together, let's say, to run more smoothly and more effective. So I'm happy that you had a pleasant experience with it.
And not only about bringing people together, but also organizing stuff. When you have all these people come together, it's one of them has ideas, so you need to organize, you need to prioritize what you will work on. And all of these things, those thoughts, those ideas can have a structure, can basically be turned into a structured way on a platform.
Yeah, I'm really happy to hear that you see the value in what we are creating. And thank you very much for your responses. That was all my questions for the day. Thank you for being here and sharing your experience for Startup Universe. It was indeed an amazing program. And as far as I know, it's a unique initiative, with having so many different programs running at once. So congratulations for stepping up for the position and running it, managing it in such a, let's say, impactful way.
Thank you very much, Yanis, for your kind words. Congratulations are indeed meant for all the team behind Startup Universe who make it a success for 2023 once again. It was a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you very much for the very specific questions and for the analysis that you put in beforehand. And hope we will continue this great partnership.
I hope so as well. And thank you again for being here. And thank you for listening, everyone, to our episode. And stay tuned for the next one.